Calvin, it's so great to see you.
Always good to see you, man.
Thank you for your time today and being our keynote on Thursday. I always like to talk about successful people like you, and would love if you could just tell our folks a little bit about how you got your career going and how you wound up being the CEO of this great company.
Well, first off, thank you for asking. And it's an honor to see you. And I'm looking forward to Cloud for the Utilities on Thursday. I really am. You know, for me, what I would, I'm not your typical utility CEO. And what I would always say in terms of how I got here, it was being prepared and taking calculated risks. And when you think about it, out of undergrad, I had a great job lined up with Procter & Gamble, but I decided to go to law school. Then as a lawyer and in government affairs, I took a calculated risk to go run manufacturing because I knew that was the course, the path to be a CEO. And then I'm with the Exelon family, and in 2011, they asked me to come get the merger done or help get the merger done with Constellation Energy. Came to Baltimore sight unseen. It's here 4 or 5 days a week, and a year and a half later, we got the merger done. And then in 2013, they said, hey, we'd like you to go to Baltimore at BGE. And I came here as a senior executive February 2013 and was blessed a year later to be named CEO on March 1, 2014. So for me, it was all about understanding where I needed to be or wanted to be and taking the calculated risk to continue my career and my personal development to be ready for when that opportunity came. And I'm appreciative of Exelon giving me those opportunities and my previous employers for making sure that I continued to be put in a situation to learn. And it's really all been about continual learning. And that's been fortunate for me.
Calvin, tell us a little more about the great works that your utility does here in the community. It's amazing when I read the things I read about.
Thank you. I mean, one of the great things about BGE, we're a 202-year-old company. That means we've been an anchor, not only in Baltimore, but the 10 communities, 10 counties that we serve, as well as the city. First gas utility in the nation, founded right here on Holiday Street in the city of Baltimore. So I say all that to say, we are in the fabric of the communities that we serve. And I think it's so much more than about keeping the lights on and delivering the gas. It's about letting our customers know we care about what's important to them. And that's through our philanthropic giving. You know, we average about $5 million a year to over 101 not-for-profits. We volunteer over 20,000 hours in employee time, and our commitment is sustaining. We just don't go in and walk away. So for us, being involved in the communities is an outreach of what we do as part of the core service. You know, I credit this quote to Maya Angelou, and I use it with my employees all the time. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's the type of company that BGE is thriving to be, letting people know we care about them beyond just delivering their gas and keeping their lights on.
Right. Great. I read about one of the organizations y'all support as a youth baseball league. What advice would you give to the young people in the community and really across the planet for their career and their personal advice? Well, you're such a role model. I know they'd like to hear that.
Well, thank you. If I can talk about, the baseball specifically, we're proud to be a partner with Cal Ripken Sr. Foundation. As everybody knows, Cal Ripken's a legend. And not only here in Maryland and in Baltimore, but across the country, Hall of Famer, the like. And I'm proud to be on the board of the Ripken Senior Foundation, whose mission is to touch kids' lives, impact them in those that are in distressed neighborhoods through sports. What a great mission. What a great opportunity to just impact children's lives. So we had the opportunity in 2016 when we were celebrating our 200-year anniversary, to partner with them to build a youth ballpark in West Baltimore. And that was the site of the riots that people across the country saw. So we partnered to build the Eddie Murray Field at BGE Park, another Baltimore Hall of Famer, to provide kids a safe and clean place to play. We partnered with the James Mosier Little League, the oldest continuous African-American Little League association in the country. And to do that in our founding corporate headquarters city was just meaningful for us as a legacy gift. But more importantly, to see those kids run on that field for the first time, with Cal there throwing BP, with Eddie there getting choked up about what this meant for him, said it all. And that's how you know when you're doing some good things. And that's how you know you're in a place at the right time. And being CEO of BGE gives me that opportunity, and it's humbling in so many ways. So the lessons that I would give, going to your question, is a couple of things. One, young people, they have to work hard. Nothing's going to be given to you. Two, always be prepared. Go in knowing what you want to do, be prepared. Three, take the time to ask a lot of questions. Be curious. Want to learn. Going back to that earlier conversation we had about being a continuous learner, that's important. And I think the fourth goes right into the other question, is that use your education, your job to do good. Do good, not just for yourself and your family, but for the community that you live in. That, I think, is an enriching life. And I think by you wanting to do good, good comes your way, and that's impactful.
Thanks a lot for that. So we can't have a conversation without talking about innovation. We are at BGE, the first gas utility in America. I know you've got a lot of different things going on. You're going to talk about innovation a little bit later this week at the summit. Tell us about some of the things you've got going on here that you're doing to keep being that innovator.
You don't normally think of a utility company as being innovative. Sure. Matter of fact, you think of just the opposite. But we're so proud of the fact that as a 202-year-old company, we have to continue to innovate, to continue to keep ourselves relevant outside of just delivering gas and keeping the lights on. You think about the history of our organization. We were founded by an artist who innovated a gas lamp so he can showcase his art in the evening. And that gas lamp works today, right down across from City Hall. So our foundation is built on innovation. But how do you take that and communicate it to the 3,200 men and women who work here every day? So we've done a couple of things because innovation is critical. And I always stress that it's critical because our customers, you, are demanding more from your utilities today and tomorrow than you did 5, 10 years ago. You're comparing your customer experience to all your other outlets that you have. You expect your experience with BGE to be like it is with Amazon. You're asking the question, why do you have to wait at home between 12 and 4 for a service truck to show when you can track your Domino's pizza on your phone?
I do hate that, I have to admit it.
It's real. So our customers are telling us that. Our customers are telling us, why do I have to call a 1-800 number to get my situation solved? Why can't I just get on my app, tell you what it is, you communicate back to me, because I don't want to talk to a rep. Now, then we have some customers who want to call that. So for us as a utility company, we have to communicate with everyone all the time how they want to be communicated with. And that all starts with innovation. And innovation for me is not about the next iPhone. It's about looking at our processes, looking at how we can employ technology and make us more efficient in delivering the service that's so core to people's lives. A couple of things that we are really proud of and we're innovating is, one, our electric vehicle program. We're partnering with the Maryland Public Service Commission to make Maryland one of the most progressive in the country in installing EV charging stations around the Mid-Atlantic. We will only be behind California and maybe New York, may surpass New York in that effort. BGE is the first utility in the nation to have an electric bus fleet. We bought 2 electric buses last year to shuttle our employees from one location to this main office location. And it does a couple of things. 1, encourages them not to drive to work. 2, reduces emissions in the city of Baltimore. And 3, highlights and showcases what an all-electric bus fleet looks like. That's innovative. The next one we're dealing with, we installed battery storage at one of our substations. We used augmented reality to give tours of that battery storage. That's something that we had never done. And it highlights what technology can do to defer capital costs and save our customers money. That's innovation. So I'm very proud of where we are. And we're instilling that into our culture, into our day-to-day practices. And it's not just a one-on, one-off thing. It's truly a journey.
Great. Well, you're sounding more like a tech company than a utility, which is a good thing.
It is. And I tell technology is all over our business. And I say, I'm a CEO of a company that happens to deliver electricity and gas. You should have the highest expectations that your gas flows and your lights come on. Now, what I'm trying to do is utilize all this new technology to deliver it to you more efficiently at the lowest cost with the highest service. And that's what tech companies do.
Gavin, one more question for you. You talked about the process being so important here. How do you drive innovation and thinking about being innovative throughout the whole organization?
We talk about innovation in regards to really engaging all 3,200 men and women at BGE. It's not enough for the CEO to think of him or herself as innovative. It's not enough for the vice president. It has to go to the lowest level employee at the very bottom to the very top. And how do we do that? One, we incentivize it because, people react to when there's a positive incentive at the end. Two, we encourage it and provide real examples about what we're doing. We publicize it. And I think also three, we encourage it by having really innovation summits. Exelon, for the last several years, have had this Innovation Expo where we have had several thousand employees from all of our opcos come into one place and we highlight and showcase innovation at work. This year's theme at BGE was called Innovation at Work. Last year's theme was the energy to innovate. Letting everyone know that this is not going to go away. This is not this week's fad. This is really about how we go about doing our business each and every day. And it takes all 3,200 of us to lean in and be committed to moving this business forward. So for us, we talk about it, we live it, and we recognize it and reward it. I think that's how you get a culture of innovation and let people know that we want it, we welcome it, and this is going to be the business of the future.
Sounds like you've done a great job of instilling a process of change management and how to continuous change, which is amazing. So great for that. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Always good to see you.